At the beginning of the film, we see a 17-year-old girl named Lisa, who works at a small cafe. As usual, she finishes her work and heads home. But we notice a sadness on her face because things at home are not going well. It was nothing less than hell. In fact, a man from the household would come to her room every night and mistreat her. Now, on her way home, she sees a black car on the deserted road. She gets scared and speeds up her bicycle, heading directly to her house. Here, we learn that this house does not belong to Lisa, but that she lives with her grandmother. Her boyfriend Maurice is the same man who mistreats Lisa every night. One day, fed up with everything, Lisa contemplates suicide but doesn't have the courage to go through with it. At this point, we learn that Lisa's mother sent her to her grandmother's house at the age of 14, so that she could take care of her grandmother. The next day, Lisa calls her mother and tells her everything that has happened, but her mother rejects her request. She doesn't believe Lisa and feels that she is making up stories just to return home. "So," she says, "no matter what happens, you must not come back. You have to support your grandmother," and then hangs up the call. Now, Lisa's life turns into complete hell, and even if she wanted to, she couldn't escape from it. The next day, after finishing her work, when she steps out of the cafe, she sees the same black car she had seen in the film. Lisa had seen it the previous night, and this time the car follows her. Seeing this, Lisa increases the speed of her bicycle, but then the car quickly races past her. She notices that the car stops at a place, and as she looks toward the curtain, she starts moving forward. Suddenly, a man grabs her from behind and kidnaps her. Inside the curtain, he drags her in and mistreats her terribly. Even after doing all of this, the man is not satisfied. So he blindfolds Lisa so that she cannot see his face and starts taking her somewhere. Now, Lisa knows nothing. Lisa didn't know where the man was taking her or what he was going to do to her. He brought her to an apartment far from the city, where he mistreated her again. Now Lisa realized that the man was mentally unstable, and she thought that this might not be the first time something like this had happened. Perhaps it had already been happening at her grandmother's house. The most important thing now was Lisa's survival and how she could escape from there. After this, we see the man repeatedly mistreating Lisa, but Lisa behaves very kindly toward him and speaks to him affectionately. In fact, Lisa was doing this to gain his trust so she could find a way to escape. On the other hand, we see Lisa's grandmother going to the police station to file a missing person report after Lisa didn't return home. The police first went to investigate at her mother's house, where her mother said that Lisa was probably with her boyfriend. Hearing this, the police officer was about to leave. But Lisa's younger sister said, "My sister would never do this. Something must have gone wrong with her. Please help my sister." After this, the police went to the same cafe where Lisa used to work. The cafe owner mentioned that Lisa was a very good and hardworking girl who would never run away. On the other hand, we see Lisa blindfolded but still able to perceive and understand things around her. When the man approached her, Lisa tried to talk to him and repeatedly touched his face to get a sense of what he looked like. Lisa also told him a false story, saying that her father was very ill and that she had no one else in this world without him. She shared all this to evoke sympathy and gain his trust, hoping the man would take pity on her and release her. However, the man didn't believe Lisa so easily. Now Lisa realized that if she made even a single wrong move, the man might shoot her because he had been keeping her captive for 24 hours straight. Gradually, Lisa began leaving traces of her presence in the house. She made excuses to go to the bathroom and left the house unnoticed. She also imprinted her fingerprints on the mirror and memorized the design and color of the shoes kept there. At night, when the man was asleep, Lisa quietly got up and tried to make a call from the phone kept nearby. However, the man caught her and dragged her back. At this point, we saw that he was extremely angry and attempted to kill Lisa. Lisa quickly explained that she was just trying to get news about her sick father and tell him that she was fine. She added that he didn't need to worry about her. Hearing this, the man calmed down and let Lisa go. Lisa then told him, "If you let me go, I won't tell anyone about this. I'll just leave with my father." Meanwhile, a news report appeared on the TV stating that a serial killer, who had murdered many girls over the past 6 months, was still at large. Upon seeing this, the man thought this was the perfect time to let Lisa go, since the police would be occupied with such a major criminal rather than a minor case like this. However, the man paid no attention to these thoughts, convinced that Lisa hadn't seen his face and therefore couldn't identify him. Thinking this, he put Lisa in his car and drove her to a deserted place. "There," he instructed her, "if the police ask you, tell them the kidnapper was dark-skinned and short." After saying this, he released Lisa and drove away. Lisa ran from the spot and returned home, where she told her grandmother that she had been kidnapped. However, no one believed her. Her grandmother called the police station and informed them that Lisa had returned. The next day, the police took Lisa's statement, and she narrated everything that had happened. But once again, no one believed her. Feeling completely shattered, Lisa stopped talking to anyone and withdrew into silence. Noticing her condition, a female officer sought help from Detective Larry. Larry approached Lisa, but she remained entirely silent. To gain her trust, Larry took a picture of his daughter out of his pocket and showed it to Lisa, hoping that she would relate to the bond and open up to him. Then Larry asked Lisa to tell him everything that had happened. Lisa described that the man had a black car with a red carpet, green carpeted stairs in his house, a waterbed, a gun, and that he was left-handed. After hearing all this, Larry realized that Lisa wasn't lying, so he immediately ordered an investigation into her case. However, when the police contacted the house to request permission for a hypnotic session, Maurice pretended to be Lisa's father and rejected the request outright. This made Larry wonder what kind of father doesn't care about his daughter. Suspicious, he went to Lisa and asked about Maurice. Lisa told him the truth about Maurice, prompting Larry to arrest him immediately. Now we see that Larry and his team were carefully investigating Lisa's case. They found that all the details Lisa provided matched those of the serial killer they were pursuing. Suspecting that the kidnapper might be the same killer, Larry sent Lisa's clothes to the forensic lab. When the forensic report arrived, it confirmed that the man was indeed the serial killer. Later, Lisa got into Larry's car, closed her eyes, and mentally relived the events of that night. She guided Larry to a petrol station where the kidnapper had stopped to refuel. The police arrested the man. They checked the CCTV footage at the petrol station, where they saw the same face as the sketch Lisa had made. Posters of the man were then created and put up all over the city. One day, a police officer spotted the man. He approached him and said, "Sir, we have a report of a stolen car, so we need to take a photo of your vehicle." Afterward, the officer discreetly took a photo of the man from outside the car and let him go. When the photo was shown to Lisa, she immediately recognized him as the man who had kidnapped her. Following this, the police promptly reached the man's house. They noticed a green carpet on the stairs and, upon entering the house, found further evidence, including Lisa's fingerprints. They found the evidence Lisa had intentionally left behind. With so much evidence in hand, the police tracked down the man who was roaming freely on the streets and finally arrested the dangerous criminal. Larry delivered the news to Lisa, and it was an emotional moment for everyone. People applauded and praised Lisa for her bravery. Afterward, Larry introduced Lisa to her uncle and aunt. They knew nothing about the incident and were unaware of what Lisa had gone through. Feeling guilty, they apologized to Lisa. Grateful, Lisa thanked Larry and left with her uncle and aunt. We then see Larry becoming emotional as well. Shortly afterward, Lisa's birthday is celebrated, and she is genuinely happy. The movie ends here,